Been here before, welcome. One thing I will say is this will likely be the last episode. Or the second to last. Either one. Because, I did what I set out to do. I got to the level I wanted. Now, not necessarily fully what I wanted. Not 2G. Or wait, no, the climb up from G2. So it wouldn't mean I'd beat G3. Yeah, hold on. Here, I'll just show you guys. Hold on. Okay, we're finally here. Hold on, I gotta just real quick do something. Alright, I had my stream up to thing. So, as you can see, I have Monarch equipped because fuck it, I don't know, I just felt like getting better at Monarch. But yeah, I'll invite, if Zohan's on, I'll invite him to a party, but if he's not, oh well, I'll just do this by myself. Okay, he's not on, but it's fine, whatever. But basically, as I've said before, my goal in this pretty much was just to get to low profile, because to be honest with you guys, hold on, let me just to be honest with you guys for a minute. Love this game to death. I really, truly do. But I can't. I can't play any more than this. I cannot. Like, it's the weird thing. Is like, I'll have way less hours than someone. I could have way less hours than someone, way less generations or whatever. Like, I've killed G100s before. Now, sure, they may have been rusty, admittedly, or something or other like that. But, like, killed G100s before, as you've probably seen, not very effectively, but I still did alright, all things considered, considering their giant gap of, skill and experience. Point being, for the small amount of level I am, surprisingly enough, I know a fair bit about just, just general things in this game. Like, general skill things and all that stuff, especially because of JYFK, which I haven't talked to him in a while. I might, but honestly, man, like there's this one dude, right? I'm not gonna say who it is, but there's this one dude I met, and he was using car and fucking stim, which honestly it's whatever to be honest, and everyone else uses that too. But like the part that really irked me, right, about it, and I will admit I was mad, is that he was like G16, and he was killing everyone because duh, he's using fucking car and stim. But then, like, of course, I was pissed because I'm like, what the fuck, another person, and it sort of got to a point, and I messaged him. I was like, why do fucking nothing with what you have? That's the part that fucking annoys me about when people play, like, skill-based games or, like, competitive games or whatever, right? They have such and such amount of skill. They have such and such amount of this and that. It's like with fucking gifted kids. They have a gift of skill, and then they use it for nothing. They use this gift of skill to like beat a G100 fucking person in a Kraber duel or something. And then anytime they go into casual, they just equip fucking car. Like why? Why do something? Like why have this gift of skill and then waste it on doing something that everyone else does already? It's like with fucking gifted kids. Why waste your intelligence on like it's weird cuz why waste your intelligence on fucking school where you're going to learn nothing of value when you could use your intelligence to learn things that are actually important to you. For example, like taxes and shit. That sort of thing. Why waste your intelligence or your skill or whatever thing you may have on something someone else and everyone else does already? Now, I've never been one specifically for, oh, you always have to be original. You always have to do exactly your own thing. Although I am a bit of a nitpick about that occasionally, I do still think that 9 times out of 10, it's mostly just about, like, hold on. I just think it's about finding what you're good at. But if you can be better, if you can do better than what everyone else does, if you could do something differently and do better, why do the same thing? Why? The way I play games is different than a lot of people, I'd think, right? The way I play games is I get into a game, I play the game like to death, and then I get like I'm still very low like level or experience in the game, like the game is showing, but I'll have learned so much, and then I'll just stop playing it. Because be honest with me here, what more is there for me to do? I've leveled up all my Titans to at the very least G3 for the ones that I don't really like, which are Monarch, Legion, and Tone. I mean, Tone and Legion I just don't really like in general, and Monarch is just difficult. But, like, at the very least G3 for the ones that I don't really like, but I got the skins I want on all of them. I've played all of them pretty equally, I'd say. I mean, sure, the G3 ones compared to G5 isn't exactly equal, but I've still played all of them relatively a good amount. And then for pilots, I've used almost all of these tacticals, other than like AWOL, which I just don't really have the same play. I don't have the play style that goes with AWOL. Holopilot, which is just a meme. And then Phase Shift, I just think Phase Shift is just a slightly different version of Stim. Like, it even looks slightly different. I think it's just Stim, but tweaked around a little. Stim is it boosts your speed and gives you heals, making you almost invincible. This makes you genuinely invincible, but it doesn't boost your speed. It's sort of just like a trade-off thing. But yeah, I've used 90% of the pilot tacticals that A go with my playstyle or B just I generally like. I've tried all of them, but I've played with 90% of them. Like all the four basic ones. So that's not really 90%. That's like half or like 60%. But still, point being, yeah. For primaries, barely touched the assault rifles. I will say, didn't really use them. I just thought they were a bit basic. The only one I used is G2. Submachine guns. Once again, barely touched them other than alternator, which to be fair, that is meta. So yeah, that I'll admittedly on that. I should have tried to use like Volt or something, like something more original there. Never even touched the light machine guns because they were too much of a touchy subject. Like Spitfire, everyone hates. Devotion is just kind of bad, and then L-Star is weird. I'm dog shit, so I use Grapple, Stim, and Pulse. Yeah, I use those, except I also use the fourth one, whatever the hell. But yeah, shotgun. This is like where 90% of my gameplay went into. I mean, like, I just really like shotguns. I have the Eva shotgun, like to G2, because I just used it a lot, but then JYFK told me like, "Hey man, I know you like Eva and you can use it if you want, but like it's way better and way easier to use the Mastiff because not easier, but it's way better to use the Mastiff because it has better killing potential and everything." So yeah, I just used that because it's just better. Who doesn't? Yeah, and then Grenadier never used SMR other than in fucking Frontier Defense because I just think it's icky for you to use most explosive you to use half of the explosive weapons in multiplayer. Like softball, Jesus Christ, softball. If you have extra magazine, you have 8 softballs, which means that if you want to, you can just go dink 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 dink. Not that fast, but you can go dink 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 dink, and then just like run away, and then the enemy pilot will either just die or also have to run away. And then Cold War and EPG are the ones I think are actually kind of at least somewhat fair. As you can see, I've poured a lot of my time into EPG. I just really like EPG for no reason. And then Cold War, I think it's just a bit of a spammier EPG, but it has its ups and downs and differences and such. But yeah. And then pistols, I used the Mozambique a little, same with the Wingman Elite, but both of them I didn't particularly have an interest in. Although I might use Wingman Elite if I do come back to this. And then for secondaries, most of the time it was spent on these two because Wingman is just a worse version of the P2016. Because there's no damage fall off in this game, as far as I'm aware. And if there is, why would you need a pistol or a sidearm that goes really, really, really far? Like, you don't really need that. This does pretty much the same amount of damage, has better accuracy and range, it says. or maybe the same. Yeah, it has the same range, and then it has better fire rate because it's actually semi-automatic. I actually had this most of the time, but I never really used it because shotgun is close quarters, and 9 times out of 10, if you run out of ammo with your main weapon, you're dead anyways in a situation. So, it was just a weird case. I used to use Thunderbolt a lot, but then I realized I don't really like Thunderbolt, and it's also really annoying for people to play against. Never even touched Mag Launcher because I think it's disgraceful. It's completely fucking annoying to everyone except for the person using it because they can just sit behind cover and shoot in the general direction. They can just shoot like upwards or outwards of cover without peeking out at all, and it'll just heat seek towards the Titan and they don't have to do anything. At the very least, with Thunderbolt, you have to peek for half a second. With Archer, you have to like lock on for a good couple seconds, and it's super telegraphed. Like you get a directional indicator, and it says they're locking on and everything, and the whole 9 yards. And it has a smoke trail too, so after it gets shot, you can use the smoke trail to see where it got shot from as well. I started using Charge Rifle a bit recently because of the fact that it's just really good. I mean, like it's better than it has. You don't have a giant reload time like with the Archer. It has a charge up time, but that's about the same time as like the total time of reloading and locking on for the Archer. It's about the same. The accuracy is just as accurate as you want it. It doesn't have any warning. It charges up and has a big beam of, or has a big beam of light and like a big shiny thing while you're charging it up. But the beam of light only lasts for like half a second, and if you get hit from like behind you, can't tell exactly where it came from, like with the Archer, because it doesn't leave a trail. So I've started using that as of recently. Fast regen, just because fast regen is good, hands down. Even though I liked using Power Cell, it was really good to be able to cloak more often. Fast regen is a fucking lifesaver, literally, because it is night and day, the difference. I never really used these two, to be honest. Phase Embark, I mean, could be useful for fucking frontier defense, I guess. But anything else really, eh. Um, hover. I realize now that hover isn't actually all that good. Kill report is I just used that when I didn't have anything else. Wall hang. Eh, at some point I could get that, but to be honest, it's only really good for frontier defense, and even then it's meh. It's all right. You just want to combine Titan Hunter plus Phase Embark and then Warp Fall for Frontier Defense, so you can just get your Titan immediately, like the second it dies, because you really need Titans in that mode once you get to the higher difficulties. Um, I mean, yeah, for boosts, Amped Weapons is surprisingly good. Never really used it though. Ticks is 90% of what I used until I get battery backup. Pilot Sentry is just for people that want to use Smart Pistol but don't want to be harassed for using it, so I just think it's a bit scummy. Map hack is, I mean, it's wall hacks, but it's not aimbot, so honestly, it's all right in comparison to the other options here. Radar jammer does practically nothing. Titan Sentry, I think Titan Sentry is fair because I think if a pilot shoots it, it'll start to shoot at the pilot, but it has those slow projectiles, so it's easily dodgeable, that sort of thing. I think this is still pretty fair because the Titans can also block them and also punch the sentries and all that. Fuck you. Useless. Actually really good. Also useless. If you get Smart Pistol with this, just throw a grenade at your feet. I don't care how long it took you to get this. It is 50% compared to 60%. It is not that bad. Like like I don't care what I don't care what it took. If you get fucking Smart Pistol with this, just throw a grenade at your feet. It is 10% more. It's not like, oh, well, it's better, or it's better technically to get Dice Roll into Smart Pistol because it's less activation cost. But by 10%, I don't think that's gonna affect you that much. Like, it's not, really, it's not. I think any other thing that you could get with this would be fine. Once again, Pilot Sentry, it's whatever, you got it. You got it, you may as well place it down. You know, whatever. It's not like there's any way for you to waste the Pilot Sentry even if you wanted to. Other than throwing a grenade at your feet, but even then, it only gives you one, so Eh. Amped weapons, ticks, all those are pretty fine and dandy, other than this one. The only other thing I could do is get every single banner. Like, all the regeneration banners, and all the regeneration banners for the weapons, and everything. And all the advocate gift ones, which is fucked, because it means you need to spend, like, I think I even did the math on this once, like, something around, like, 100,000 something credits. Not really. I think it's more like 30,000, I think. But the point being, a lot of credits that you would either have to, like, find a way to buy, which I don't even think you can buy credits if you wanted to. The only way that you can buy credits is by buying a jump starter pack, but that just only gives you 500 credits, and you can only buy it once. Once you've bought it, you own it now. Nothing else really gives you credits. I mean, call sign doesn't, camo doesn't, war paint doesn't. This doesn't. New releases is once again, it's just the war paints. Like, like, so you'd have to play like thousands and thousands and thousands of games. Sure, I could start using up my Coliseum tickets, but for one, I'm generally not that into doing 1v1s. I mean, sure, I could do it, and it would be possible to win. But even if I do win, once again, it gives you an advocate gift as a reward for winning, which has a chance of just giving you another Coliseum ticket, or giving you a banner, or something. Even if I wanted to get all of them through banners, or at least like most of them, I would need like 30 something Coliseum tickets, and I would have to win all of them, which is just not gonna happen. And also, Coliseum matches would probably take fucking ages to get, considering that it's a limited resource in a game with a very small amount of players. Sure, it's a 1v1, but you have to use a limited resource to get it. Not limited, but it's like you have to use a resource that is difficult to gain to some degree to get it. It's like a chance. In amongst a player base of already dwindling people, that's just not gonna happen. Just like how you're like never gonna fucking get someone to play Frontier Defense Insane unless you have like a friend, and even then you need to wait for two other people. Point being, I've played this game a lot. 26, 28 hours or something on stream. Sure, that's probably not as much as some other people, but I do still think I've learned a lot of things from this game. I think, though, that much as it may pain me to say this, I think it's about time that I put up the towel here. Because I don't have anything else to do. At the very least, nothing interesting left to do. Because this would take forever, like I said. I would have to level up to do this. I mean, like, and no one really wants to. I mean, no one really wants to see me use like one weapon for. I mean, sure, I've used one weapon for a while now, but like, no one wants to see me spend like 30 plus hours or something like that using one weapon trying to get its regen banner, and then I'd have to regen it again to get the other banner, and then on and on and on, and then that sort of thing. Point being, I've learned a fair bit from this game, and it's been fun. But hey, look on the bright side. I can stream other things now. Because I felt this obligation to sort of give Titanfall the respect it deserves. Because it deserves respect. It deserved my time. But now, that time is over. Thank you all who watched during this long, long, arduous journey. Thank you to everyone who joins the streams when they're happening. And to all those wonderful people out there that watch the VODs. Not that the people who watch streams aren't lovely as well. Without further ado, I've been the Human Vocoder. And for the very, very last time on this game, thank you all for watching. I've been the Human Vocoder. Signing off.